Hi guys, Toboloco here. Welcome back to the 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil game. Today we are simulating the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The draw literally just happened about a second ago. I was straight on it. I was moving these groups around as they were doing it. And what do you think of the groups? What do you think? Where are you from? What do you think of the groups? I mean, I'm English, and that Group B, is looking very, very nice for England. It's not set in stone, obviously. But of course, you know, you'd have to think that we'd be getting through in that group. But there's a lot of interesting groups. Group E looks very interesting. Group D is kind of similar to the 2018 group, minus Australia. Group F is very interesting, and H as well. It's all to play for, obviously. Group A as well is quite an interesting group as well. So let me just tell you about this before we get this simulation started. So you probably noticed that Wales, New Zealand and Peru have made an appearance on this simulation. The reason being is because if you didn't watch my video that I did earlier in the day, I actually watched the whole of the playoffs on the 2014 game, and now I'm simulating on the 2014 game, so that's why those three teams are there. It's not a personal prediction, and we still don't know what's going to happen. It could be Ukraine, it could be Scotland, it could be the UAE, it could be someone else. You know, you don't know, do you? But another thing I wanted to say is that this simulation is purely for fun. I know it's on the 2014 game, and I know the squads are now 8 years out of date. I know that. We're not going to be looking at top goal scorers on this simulation or anything like that. We're literally here just to see which nation could theoretically win with the scenario and the groups in place that we have right now. And I am following France. The only reason I'm following France on this simulation is because they won the World Cup last time round in 2018. So let's get this simulation started and see then who will win this 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. It's going to be a good World Cup, I feel. There's a few group stages that I was a little bit disappointed with, like namely France's one, which is literally the same as 2018 pretty much, but there are some really good ones in there. So let's get down to the simulation. We'll review the results and the group stages midway through this video. It's going to be a very short one, but let's go and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate all three of the group stage games, and then if France go through in the group stage, I will review the groups and everything like that. So their first match of the 2022 World Cup is against Peru. What will France do in this one? You've got to think that France will be winning that match. Let's have a look. And it is a 3-0 comprehensive win for France according to the game. And the second match is against Denmark. You're starting to see an idea on the bottom of the screen who's beating who. And I reckon France have taken that one. Yeah, another 3-0. So France are already through. And their last match is against Tunisia. Let's have a look and see then who goes through in this one. I'm guessing France beat... Oh, they drew against Tunisia. Maybe France brought on a couple of reserves. I don't know. Alright, so let's have a look at the group stages then. And we can review this and see if you guys agree with this simulation. Of course, like I said, it's out of date. The squads are out of date. And, of course, as well, this game can be very random with the simulation results. But it seems like on this one, it's kind of normal, if you know what I mean. So in Group A, we have the Netherlands and Ecuador going through in Group A. Senegal having a very poor tournament despite winning AFCON, and the host Qatar getting knocked out in the group stage. I feel like that could be true for Qatar anyway. For me personally, I would swap Ecuador and Senegal's position, possibly. But you never know. Senegal could have a bad tournament. In Group B, we have England and the USA going through in that group. Wales and Iran crashing out in the group stage. I 100% agree that England would win that group, 100%. United States, on the other hand, getting 5 points and coming second. Yeah, you could possibly see that. Wales getting dumped out. I feel like Wales are slightly stronger than the US, only slightly. But I would agree with Iran going out in the group stage. Group C, we have Poland and Argentina going through in that one. Saudi Arabia and Mexico going out. I would definitely switch Saudi Arabia's position with Mexico. Possibly Mexico would I don't know. It's a hard one to call. Poland have Lewandowski. I don't think Poland would get 9 points from that group. I think Argentina might get 9 points from that. But anyway, Poland and Argentina, according to the game, have gone through. Group D, we have France and Peru going through. Agree with France, top of the group, 100% agree. Peru having a decent campaign in the group stage as well. Denmark, on the other hand, getting knocked out in the group stage. I'm not sure. Maybe I would personally swap Denmark and Peru around, possibly, but that is my own personal opinion. In Group E, we have Germany and Spain going through in that one, Japan and New Zealand getting knocked out in that one. You have to think that Japan and New Zealand, they've been drawn the short straw in this World Cup, but at the same time, they still could do something. In this simulation, they haven't, although Japan probably got knocked out on goal difference, and New Zealand only bagging a point, presumably against, I think it's either of the opponents, but I reckon it would be Japan. In Group F, we have Croatia getting 9 points and Belgium going through with 6. Morocco and Canada going out with 1 point each. I feel like Canada would be more competitive these days. Obviously, that Canada squad on 2014 settings is less competitive. This Canada, we're seeing a much better Canada this time round. So maybe Canada could break into like that third place spot, possibly. I mean, it's a very hard group to call. I would say Croatia have been on a tiny little bit of a decline since 2018. They still have good players, but I'm not sure if they would top that group. I think personally Belgium would top that group. Group G, we have Brazil and Switzerland going through. In that one, Cameroon and Serbia getting knocked out. Again, a very close group for at least 3 of those nations. I feel, yet again, that Serbia would be a little bit more competitive, considering they have Mitrovic. They're going to get goals from Mitrovic. Cameroon, they're pretty decent. They were pretty decent at AFCON, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that group is alright for what it is. And Group H, we have Portugal going through and Uruguay as well. Korea Republic and Ghana only missing out by goal difference and 1 point respectively. Portugal, yeah, I could see Portugal getting 6 points in that, although I think they may struggle in real life. Uruguay could be more dangerous than they are. Like, they are a good South American team. Don't rule out Korea Republic or Ghana in the real World Cup, though. They'll be looking to mess that group up, especially Ghana after their horrific Africa Cup of Nations campaign. So let's have a look at the round of 16 then. So this is your round of 16, proposedly. So according to the game, this is your round of 16 matchup and opponents. So we've got the Netherlands versus the US, we've got Poland versus Peru, England versus Ecuador, France versus Argentina, Germany versus Belgium, Brazil versus Uruguay, Croatia versus Spain, and Portugal versus Switzerland. So if you want my personal prediction, who would win the actual 2022 World Cup, I'm sticking with Brazil. So we're just going to go and check on the fixtures and results and scroll through them very quickly so you guys can glance at what's happening in this tournament. And like I said, even though it's only 2014 squads, it might give you an idea of how the matches could potentially go. So I'm just going to scroll down very slowly and let you guys glance at all these group stage matches. This is the only way I can do it as well. So we've got some big results here, including Poland smashing Saudi Arabia 5-0. There's another 4-0 there for Belgium and Morocco. Croatia beating Canada 4-0. Again, I still think Canada would be more competitive than that. Netherlands beating Qatar 4-0. Definitely could see that. England squeezing by Wales 1-0. And we get to the end, and there's quite a lot of draws down here. New Zealand notably drawing against Germany. That's a big draw for them. And that's all your fixtures there, so I hope you're happy with that. Alright, so we're in the round of 16. This is a potential stopping point for France. Like, they could get knocked out by Argentina here. I feel like in real life, though, I feel like France will have the edge over Argentina, because France are a very good side, of course. Even though they got dumped out in the Euros by Switzerland, I think that was just more complacency by France than anything else. So let's simulate this match and see who goes through. It is France who's gone through. We're just going to go all the way to the end and review it, just like we do with the Subscriber World Cups, if you're not new here. So the quarterfinals would be England versus France, apparently. Let's see then who wins out of these two. And England won 2-1. I just saw it straight away. So we're going to simulate it to the end and find out your winners for the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar, according to the game. And it's Germany against England in the final. So that is your winner for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The game reckons, I know Germany are overpowered on this game considering that they won it in 2014, and a lot of people will be like, you can't do this simulation on 2014, it's just for a bit of fun, okay? But yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, it's a game prediction, so I guess we'll keep it like that. England bottle another final. I do see England, if they do have a strong campaign, getting to the final in Qatar. Like, they are a very strong team these days. You know, 2018 showed us that, and also Euro 2020 as well. Alright, so let's review the results before we wrap this video up. So Germany beat Belgium 4-0. Brazil also beat Uruguay 3-0. Netherlands squeezed by USA 2-1. We got Poland beating Peru 2-0. Then Germany went on to beat Brazil 2-0. And the Netherlands struggled against Poland on penalties, but they beat them 5-4. Then Germany beat the Netherlands 3-1. And then they went on to win the final against England. We got the Netherlands losing in the third place playoff against Croatia. So Croatia, yet again, have had a really good campaign. And according to the game, they will finish third in Qatar over the Netherlands. I mean, I'd be quite happy with that. I mean, Croatia, I do rate them. They are a good team. So reading right down, we got Croatia beating Spain 1-0. We got Portugal beating Switzerland 2-0. We have England beating Ecuador 3-1, France beating Argentina 2-1, Croatia beating Portugal 2-1, England beating France 2-1, and then on penalties, England squeezed by Croatia 4-3, and England went on to lose the final, whereas Croatia won the third place playoff for the second time in their history. So that was your fun little simulation, I hope, on this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then give it a like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Keep it local as always, and I'll see you again for the next video.